Hey, did you know that Whitesnake had albums out before 1984? We'll talk about some of the best songs from Whitesnake's early years right here in the Hairband Basement. Welcome to the Hairband Basement. I'm your host, Basement Brian, and tonight, look, I got a friend from from the 51st state. Jason, welcome to the basement. Why don't you tell us what you got going before we get into what this episode's about?
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for inviting me on.
No
I
problem.
guess, like you told me, I have the honor of being the first guest. So,
Yeah, well,
kinda.
yeah, the kind
Hey,
of
I'm going
possibly
with first.
you might be the first. What's we're looking for? Televised guest.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. For those of you that have seen me on another channel before, Guru's channel, you can follow me. I'm sure Brian will put it
I'll
down
put
there
it up there. Yeah, yeah, fuck yeah.
at Read World. Catch my posts. I do 2 a week. I do a Hair Metal Monday where I throw out a hair band that you might not know, but you definitely should. And then it's a three-way Thursday where I'll pick three vinyls from something a like artist most often of bands that people definitely have to keep spinning and that's are from my vinyl library.
Nice. Definitely give him a follow. Let me go through my shit real quick. Find me on X, on Twitter, HB Basement. Find me on the Stationhead app. If you want to listen to deep hair metal tracks every Friday night at 8:30. I'll probably put some more shit up later anyway. All right. So you can see by my shirt, I got the Whitesnake shirt on. We all know this album, we all love it, but we decided to talk about the band before that thing broke big. So we're gonna focus on the band from what 78 we said to 82.
Two.
Uh Nobody talks about the band. They have killer songs and albums out from that era, more blues-based rock, pure 70s deliciousness. And for some reason, people think, oh, Whitesnake's first album was slided in 84. And it's not even the version that the blues side band kind of did, it's the Sykes version. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah. And we figured Whitesnake had some fucking killer stuff in those early years. And I figured let's do a show on it, get it out there to the people. I got to ask you, though, how did you get into the old school Whitesnake?
Actually, by total mistake and a gateway of 87. So 87 got big, Still the Night, all that stuff. And I went out and I got the cassette out of,
Because you're an old fuck.
and yeah, because I'm an old fuck. And the first song, Crying in the Rain. And I go up and the guy's like, oh, you should totally get this one. And it was Saints and Sinners. And I was like, and I didn't know, again, just finding out about Whitesnake. I knew nothing. I didn't know about Slide In because honestly, I was buying that cassette for what? Here I go again,
Mm.
right? So I bought Saints and Sinners and I was like, well, holy shit, this is good. It kind of progressed to that. And as I was over the years building CDs and because they're, I'm sure we'll talk about it and you've mentioned it before, hard to fucking find hard to find the early stuff almost by
Hmm.
design, I think, maybe by the record companies or whatever. But I just, over the years, and when I got back into vinyl, that was one of my first things because they were so easy to find when vinyl got popular again. So
Really? Huh.
for me, for where I live, oddly enough, in Canada, yeah, I could go to a record store really when I started building my library again in the early 2020s, I guess. Yeah, you could just go and pick up older classic rock for $3, $4.
No
Crazy.
shit.
And now it's well, as you know, going out there, it's gotten out of hand, but it is what it is. So
Yeah,
all
yeah.
because of the 87 album that I got into early Whitesnake. And I will say it here, which we will say often on this video, I prefer early Whitesnake. Yeah, sorry, I do.
I'm with you. I think it's fucking epic. I love it too.
Mm.
I mean, personally, for me, I got into it again. The gateway to Whitesnake for me was the '87 album.
Yeah.
Remember seeing "Still the Night" on MTV and Headbangers Ball with Tony Katane, I think, looked better in that video than the one leaving slug trails on the Here I Go Again, leaving wet marks on the hood of the Jaguars and shit. And what I used to do when I was in high school, if I got an album, I would get all the earlier stuff from that band.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I got into it. So in high school, I was really deep into Whitesnake. And at that point, they had, the Americanized version of Slide It In and the 87 album, and the rest was all this old school Whitesnake stuff. And I fucking dove deep with this shit and loved every goddamn album of it. Where,
It's just so good, man. Like I
yeah,
just, for me, and I know he's had like, the Vandenbergs and John Sykes, rest in peace, and Tommy Aldridge and Sarzo and Stevie Vai and Vivian Campbell and
all
stuff.
great musicians, all great
All
musicians.
great musicians. But again, because I am very biased, the musicianship on those early Snake albums are unbelievable.
I'm with you on that totally. But I also,
Bernie and Cozy, like holy fuck, can those guys play?
and I think a big difference was that the later White Snake that everyone knows, the glam hair metal version of it, it was the David Coverdale project with hired guns, and he got great guys to
Absolutely.
play with him.
Yeah.
The
And
earlier
just
White Snake, up until like the Slide It In era, was a
a
band,
band, a band.
completely different, like atmosphere with what they were about.
Yep. And but before we get into our list, I guess we're just gonna wax poetic on this for everybody.
Wax on, wax off.
That before it turned into the Coverdale project is because he was so focused, and in interviews I've seen with his former band members, he was just so focused on breaking in America. That's what meant everything to him because they were a massive band in the UK and Europe already.
Yeah,
Stadiums, like they were filling them, but he
yeah,
wanted America. And even though he wanted America, and this is the thing, it would have happened anyway, but the rest of the band really wasn't interested. They were good with what they had going.
that's just, I get. He had what's his face on bass. Neil Murray played on the '87 album. He was still there since
Played
day
on it,
one.
yeah, yeah. And Neil Murray, I mean, holy shit, man. Neil Murray is one of the things when they went down to a four piece. When they went down to a four piece, it was Neil Murray, and then they brought in Sykes to tour for slide. Like, I mean, shit. Right. And then you got Cozy behind. Like, what are Neil Murray and Cozy Powell? Are you kidding me for that
Great rhythm section. Yeah,
Oh, and that's
yeah,
going to come out in a lot of my picks today. Is why I love so many songs is because of that. And then you throw in John Lord. Like, come on.
yeah. R.I.P. And I remember seeing an interview with him talking about Neil Murray talking about what happened with the band White Snake, and he was like talking about playing on the '87 album, just saying like, you listen to that album, he's not playing the same bass style as he did in the earlier stuff. Here I go again on my own. Bassist adage, part of the job, you play to the song.
Because I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass,
And he was like, I'm playing what the album needed, and then never toured with it. It was done. Goodbye. That's the thing. There is no picture of that band that played on the '87 album.
Nope, nothing.
That's just crazy to me.
It's like they didn't even do. If there was a photo session, it's never been out there.
I haven't seen it.
If somebody out there has seen one, please like get in touch with Brian through the video.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's not going to be MTV pretty by any means, but I mean, and it's really good that you said that, and you being a bass player as well, that when he's like, you're playing to the song.
Oh, I'm all about that bass.
Because you take that 87, the stuff that he recorded there to play to the song, and you compare it to the bass lines he was putting down in the earlier stuff, way better on the earlier stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like it just, man, if you are
he's going to come up a lot. He's
Oh,
going
he
to come up
is.
a lot with me.
Absolutely. And I'll just say this before we get into it. If you are a fan of musicianship, get into early Whitesnake. It
I'm with you on that.
blows away the other stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's that. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right. So with that, since you're the visiting team here, let's hear your number 10.
All right, my number 10. I tried to put these in order, but like I said earlier, folks, I had 19 songs this morning for my top 10. I
We'll do
just
honorable mentions. We'll do honorable mentions at the
we'll
end.
do some honorables, but I'm gonna move stuff in as Brian picks one I have. So my number 10 is off probably my favorite Whitesnake album is Love Hunter.
Okay.
If you see the cover, and I hope if you do some editing, you throw up the covers or
Oh,
whatever.
the covers will be up there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. The Love Hunter, my t-shirt didn't arrive in time. It's not going to go over well in this house when I do wear it around, but I digress. But
Gotcha.
is Walking in the Shadow of the Blues.
Oh, great tune.
Right? Like we could just mic drop this whole top 10
Yeah,
list,
yeah.
but I mean it's just again, and you're gonna hear this a lot when I say it, the rhythm section on this song. That's just all I can say.
I don't want to say too much because that's definitely coming up later on my list.
Okay. Well, I will lead it off, then I'll let you go in depth when you get there.
Okay, we both going in depth. It's a great tune.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
a great tune. Great song.
Yeah, so good, guys.
All right, my number 10 is from Come and Get It from 81, Child of Babylon.
Oh, okay. I had to make that a cut today.
Oh, I love that beginning with like the
Yes.
wind blowing and shit, and then my mama started crying. My daddy started crying. Have mercy on my son. He's a child of Babylon. I mean, Murray's bass is so fucking tasty in this one. Just the octaves he throws in there. Dave belts out the chorus. It's just fantastic. Well, I like the line. Well, I fooled around so many times. What I've known, it ain't been right. But I paint in all colors when really it should be in black and white. The whole fucking song has just got this epicness to it. Fucking great. I always liked what the fuck, Come and Get It. That's a great album, top to bottom. But yeah, that one I always liked that one. I still remember to this day. It was the first song off side B. That's right. I had it on cassette, so an old fuck.
So I remember when I saw it, or when I first heard it, and it was post Holy Diver when I first heard Child. So you hear the wind come in, and I was like,
yeah,
fucking Dio ripped him off.
Yeah. It's got that whole, you know, you got this sign on your hand at birth kind of fucking thing. You're the chosen one kind of shit.
He is the chosen one.
Or in this case, maybe the cursed one. But yeah, it's such a great tune. I always love that one.
Oh, they all are. Fuck.
They are. We're gonna say that for every one of them. So.
Yeah, they all are.
Whatever. All right. How about you, number 9?
Oh, just it makes me smile every time I hear it because of the lyrics are just so fucking cheeky and great. And it's off Trouble, and it's Lie Down, a modern love song.
Dude, you just take my list.
Oh,
I have that one later too.
Like the lyrics, right? Like, lie down. I think I love you.
Yeah,
I
think I care. That's the one thing. Did I say it on this one? No, but it's on my list. But a lot of the songs are like, I think they wrote them to try to get laid, and it's always them. No. You know, not like that, but it's almost like, I can't even describe it. I think I said this in another one on my list. It almost seems like it's David in his wood paneled wall living room putting on, you know, they have the record player, but not a record player. It's that big fucking thing with the bar attached to it. Yes, and like he's got lines chopped up on the wooden table, just with some girl with probably a big hairy lap, just trying to get in her pants all the time. That's all it is. That's what it seems like. I think half my list are songs that would fit that scenario. That's every time. Is.
And I mean, we'll get into some deeper songs too, but I mean, like the songwriting itself is great, but I mean, like there's no double entendre on that song at all.
But I always thought with, especially later Whites, there isn't, but it's kind of done in a classy way, which makes it different, you know? It's not like your later bands from this, when the hair metal genre, they were just flat out blatantly, hey, suck this. Let's get naughty, naughty. But no, this
Yeah.
had a classiness to it where, yeah, David Coverdale's like loosening up his yellow and brown striped tie in his 70s suit, just trying to, mix
Bell bottom
drinks.
brown
Yeah,
corduroy suit. Yeah.
exactly. And he's mixing drinks on his fucking bar
Yeah.
turntable combo with next to the big, huge fucking TV in the shag carpet and shit.
Just a fine English gentleman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Trying to
Yeah.
bring home a fancy bird.
That's right.
All right. My number 9, also from Trouble, lead off track, Take Me With You. I remember getting this on CD and just being like, holy shit, this song might be my favorite song off the album. Great fucking tune. But every time I see my baby home, want to kiss her a little better so I get stoned. Gonna spread her pretty legs so I can see. Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, what a great tune. I always
That was
liked
also
that
one that didn't make my cut. So I'm so
Okay.
glad that you made it. Yeah. Like I said, it was very hard to get this down. So far, I'm really pleased that we're gonna get more than 10 in here. So it's great.
Because I remember when I got the album, I'll put it up there, it had that. The cover was that 70s style looking snake coming out of an egg, I guess, floating in like a weird whatever, like black background with Whitesnake in the script at the top. But there were other versions that had that. It was white. It said Trouble and has that snake from the front view.
No,
Where it's kind of like almost like a black and white picture.
yeah,
I didn't know that even existed until way after I bought the CD, and it was like, this one sucks. I like the color one way better. It's a way better cover.
And there's another thing that you can give a nod to the earlier Whitesnake. Their album covers, maybe except Ready and Willing, it's just like
just the band
photo, but it's not Love Hunter and Trouble and Come and Get, like killer album covers.
Yeah, I totally
Even
agree.
The logo Whitesnake is like a really long snake.
Yep.
Right? So,
because they first used, I think they used that on Love Hunter might have been the first time they used it, and they stopped using it after Slide It In. They just ditched it.
David Coverdale project.
Yeah, when David Coverdale, it's that medallion looking thing, and that was on every fucking album after that. Yeah, like I said in an early video, it looks like something Mr. T would have around his fucking neck.
Yeah. We could also tell the folks, and you probably have more information here about I do, but like before it was the Whitesnake band, didn't he do a post Deep Purple and it was David Coverdale? Whitesnake was one of his EPs. There was North Winds and Whitesnake, right?
That's what it was. It was both of those. He had those two things out. I know he had an album that had both of them on. I remember I got the double cassette.
I got the CD from like a BMG or Columbia House.
Yeah,
together.
And then he had stuff from that era later on the B side for the EP Snakebite.
Yeah.
Which let's go through what, because we didn't have any songs from that.
No,
and we didn't have any songs that were covered later in the late 80s.
That's right.
So, and we kind of,
those of you that don't know, we will not be talking about Crying in the Rain. We will not be talking about Fool for Your Lovin',
which I love both versions.
Me too. And we will not be talking about Here I Go Again.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, because those were redone.
And with the David Coverdale, if I could have done the David Coverdale solo stuff from 77, I would have put Queen of Hearts on my list. That's great fucking great tune. Great song.
When David Coverdale watches this video and reaches out to you and he'd like to be a guest, we can get to the bottom of all this stuff.
Yeah, figure it all out.
We'll
I don't know. If he looks at my earlier videos, there's gonna be like this. Fuck this guy. He wasn't too kind about the shit he said about me. If you're Whitesnake or David Coverdale, because everyone else was just hired guns for the band, you're probably disappointed in this album. And David Coverdale should be thanking John Sykes for this album. After that, David Coverdale fired everybody. He's got rid of everybody. Is This Love was the big ballad. I really wasn't a huge fan of that song. I think that's what's going to keep me from having guests. All the stuff I say about them is jokes. They may not take it lightly.
No, well.
All right, what's your number 8?
And you make one meat curtain joke on a...
You go figure. I mean, come on, lighten up, guys. Lighten up. It happened 35 years ago.
Exactly. Okay, my next one is off, again, I'm going back to Love Hunter. And so the reason I love this song I'm about to mention is the opening guitar and piano before it just rips in and it's rock and roll women.
I almost had that on my list. I think it's on my honorables.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, all right, show your hand. I'm looking for the promise of a one night stand. Or I want a 12 bar beauty with a one track mind. Like, come on,
It's
man. That's just
it,
gold.
it's hilarious how Coverdale was very honest and clear. He was not looking for a relationship in these songs. I mean, it's pre-AIDS, so there you go. You can do this kind of stuff.
It
Have your
absolutely is.
have your uppers, your fucking cheap wine, and your lines. Hey, you're good to go. And your wood paneling with the fucking bar turntable combo.
That's right. And nothing says 70s Whitesnake. I mean, you put one of those albums on. Now I'm gonna have forever etched in my mind of Coverdale's brown corduroy bell-bottom suit and
There
his
you go.
vinyl player bar. But I mean, nothing screams like you just put one of those albums on, you can almost smell the Marlboro Reds and English whiskey, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That cheap fucking high karate cologne.
Yeah.
As he goes up to change the record, the corduroy pants. Shit.
Good stuff.
All right, my number 8. You already said it. Lie Down. Parentheses. Modern day love song.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's just such a good tune. It's such a good tune. Like I said, I already said it's one of the many songs of the band trying to get laid. It's
Yep.
we late at night, bring back to my place. But you didn't mention that Bernie Marsden sings in this one. He takes the lead in
I did miss that. Yeah.
I forget the lyrics now off the top of my head, but it's after I think after the second chorus, no, first chorus of the first chorus. He sings a couple lines, which I think
And
is
then
pretty
right at
cool.
the end, and I meant to grab the lyric, and I maybe on a different piece of paper. Coverdale right at the end asks a question. I think it's like, so you'll more or less like give it to me if I tell you I love you. I think so, like something like that. I just can't remember how it goes, but shame on me for not writing it down.
I always like the line, Casanova couldn't take all your virtue, but rock and roll is going to steal it from you.
Absolutely.
So great. Oh, epic tune.
Yeah. Like, how do people not listen to this stuff, man? They're missing out.
I can't think of, I think maybe every now and then on Hair Nation, they've played the older versions of Crying in the Rain and Here I Go Again. Other than that, you hear none of this stuff anywhere.
No,
Anywhere. Well, you hear it on Stationhead, download the app, check out my show on Friday nights. But it's like, yeah, it's like it doesn't exist to most people, which is just crazy to me. Like you said, the
I don't
musicianship.
understand it.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Yeah,
It's funny. Like I've told you guys before, like I play hockey on Tuesday, Thursdays at noon. And so I got to the dressing room today. We have a fancy dressing room. We just stay there, etc., whatever. But today I was in there a little early and I was just sitting at the table going through my list and had the stereo on. And one of the guys walks in and I can't see him when he walks in. He comes around the corner as I'm sitting there writing out some notes and he goes, "This is fucking Whitesnake." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I thought I was the only one."
Oh shit.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of my list here?
Yeah.
Any recommendations?
Oh, he was into it. He's like, "Oh," and I'd cut. How can you fucking cut that? Put that back on. I was like, okay. There's more than just us out there.
Nice. Hopefully more pick up on it after this.
Yeah, hope so. We're just doing you a service, everybody.
Yes, we're doing you a favor here. Definitely check out all these songs and albums. You will not regret it. All right, my number 7 is from Ready and Willing. I think no, I had one from it before, but oh no, this is our first one from Ready and Willing, I believe. But the song "Black and Blue."
Oh,
another one. Hey, I'm in the wood paneled living room with the fucking cocaine and the fucking lewds trying to get in your pants. But it's like I had already said that it's just another one where I always like, take your time. We can do some lines because it's all right. We'll feel fine drinking midnight wine because it's all right. That's a perfect song that sets up that scenario.
That whole living room. It does.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's one of those songs you see I have a couple of them on this list where it's like the whole band is like 100% in on this. They got in this one. They have the crowd cheering. They're all doing all this other shit in the background. But yeah, this I always like this one. This is one of my favorites off this album.
So so getting into that, then I'm gonna switch some stuff around, is because you had just mentioned with the crowd in there, which takes me to my next one.
All right, number 6.
Holy shit, I didn't write down what album. You'll catch it quick. It is Nighthawk.
Nighthawk. Is that?
So
I don't know if it's Trouble or Love Hunter.
hold on. Man, we're supposed to be the experts here, so when this video comes out, people are gonna be screaming, "Oh, fucking, they don't even know."
No, I'll edit it out. Fuck them.
On Trouble.
They'll never
On
know.
Trouble.
It is Trouble. Okay, yeah.
Okay, it's on Trouble. So it starts off with like the drums, like, and then the organ comes in and everything. So for me, I just imagine being in a dark theater, because in the 70s, there was no flash. It's about 3 different colors of lights that just went on, off, on, off, on, off.
Yeah.
It's the whole 70s vibe concert, and it's going, and that's when the lights are going with the drums. It's like, it's almost a song that like everybody's going to get a piece. It's going to be some piano, then it's going to be some drums, and it's going to be guitars and the bass and everything. That's that song for me. It is just, and then it just rips. It's a band song, and that's why I changed everything around, because you just mentioned the band song. So Nighthawk off Trouble, boom, number 6.
Nice. Yeah, that's one I can see that image, and it's all hazy because all the weed smoke everywhere.
All the weed. That's not, those aren't smoke machines. They didn't
No,
need them.
no, they are not. They are not. And nobody gave a shit. That's the way it was. That's a good one. That is a good one. I should have put that on I don't have that on my honorables. I forgot about that one. That's a fucking good pick.
Yeah.
All right, my number 6 from the Snakebite EP from 78, Bloody Mary. I've always fucking loved this song. God damn. And
take that off. That was also on my cuts.
Was it? It's pure 70s awesomeness.
Yeah.
Just so great. It's like I like Sugar on My Woman more than Saccharin. Too much sweet talk make a nice boy mean. Oh, great stuff. And of course, the line with when they have this, the second chorus comes up and they add another part to the chorus where it says, Madam Palm and her 5 sweet daughters couldn't give the man what the doctor ordered.
What does that mean?
Me off, Jack.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know who would know? I bet you Guru would know what that meant.
I had a feeling you're going to make a comment like that when I said that line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what that is. Just, it starts off with the piano and they all start kicking, and it's just like peak 70s fucking right there. It's just so great.
And again, talking like we do about this was a cohesive band.
Yeah.
That everybody got their thing, right? Like, who would think in a rock and roll band that, all right, John Lord, rest in peace, like, we're gonna let you play the piano for a bit. Like, that just doesn't happen today.
No.
Like, you'd get a taste from Bon Jovi when What's His Nuts, whatever, his Dave Bryan would do, like the beginning of Let It Rock or whatever. It just doesn't happen. Keyboardists stand behind a curtain and you don't know who's there.
But the thing is, it's not just it's piano. That's the difference there. Because by the late 80s, you didn't really hear a lot of rockin' songs with piano. Maybe
one song that we got in our 80s that had a piano in it that meant something. But it was a cover, and it was Great White. Right?
Great White had it. I mean, for a ballad, Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone started off with it. And
but not a rock song.
Love in Stereo by Warrant from Cherry Pie had a piano in it.
And the beginning of it was off Retroactive, Ride Into the Sun.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, the piano can be used if it's done properly, and it is all over these Whitesnake records.
Yeah, and it's done properly throughout. I totally agree. Then again, it's John Lord. The guy was a great keyboardist / pianist, but
hugely underrated. You don't hear his name when you're, and you should.
Yeah. All right, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Again, we're going to talk about my next couple of picks. We're really going to talk about the rhythm section, which will please you as a bass player. Is Sweet Talker off Ready and Willing?
That made my honorables.
Yeah,
Fucking
that opening
great
guitar
song.
and the bass, like for 70s recording, and you need to understand, like a lot of people that have discovering this music is, you've got your CDs that they say are remastered. Oh, CDs. Well, let me tell you, folks, is that in my hairband basement is I have the original vinyls from the 70s, and holy fuck, does that rhythm section cook on
Yeah.
the original vinyl copy. Like, it's unreal, and it just really speaks to Sweet Talker. Like that bass, they whoever the producers was or wherever, they made sure that the bass was important on these. And that speaks to a
Yeah.
lot of artists in the 70s, but they really did a great fucking job on these on the Whitesnake catalog.
I agree with that. And it seemed like if you look at a lot of rock bands from the 70s, the bass is a way more active instrument than you'll see later in the 80s. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna say I love, the whole channel's about late 80s, early 90s hair metal stuff, but
Yeah.
a lot of those bassists aren't Bobby Dollar Poison isn't doing flashy shit or cool stuff in the back. He's doing what he's got to do for the song,
For the
sure,
song.
but
Yeah.
it's just playing root notes, and that's about it. I mean, there are good players from that genre, but not the 70s has a like you look at fucking Neil Murray, John Paul Jones, Geezer Butler, fucking epic guys, just unbelievably John Entwistle, unbelievable
Hey,
players.
John Deacon,
Yes, John Deacon's another one. I mean,
right?
Geddy Lee, just
Yeah.
so much shit from the 70s. You're just like, fuck, that's someone that made this instrument a craft. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
And yeah, when I was growing up and started playing the bass, it was like listening to all your hair metal stuff, and it's like, oh, this is an easy instrument. It's my simplest one to get into. You
No.
start learning what the role is and what cool shit sounds like. You're like, nah, there's way more to this than the surface level. Hey, I'm playing root notes throughout the whole song.
Oh, you know what? We better say it too. We forgot what genius of the 70s too is Michael Anthony.
Hell yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
What a forgotten instrument that the 80s just really didn't address, right?
Yeah, and the thing was, especially when keyboards became more of a thing in pop music, it
Yeah.
kind of took a back seat. But yeah, it's just it. Listen to songs without bass, and you'll be like, it sounds hollow. Something's missing.
Yeah, just
That's the
listen
whole
to
point of
Injustice
it.
for All. You'll understand.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, your number. Where we at?
No,
Five.
I just did Nighthawk, didn't I?
Nighthawk was Nighthawk.
Yeah.
Nighthawk was your five.
No, I just did Sweet Talker.
Sweet Talk was your five. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, you already said this before. It's from Love Hunter, Walking in the Shadows of the Blues. Fucking
That's
killer
it.
song. Killer
But
song.
you had more stuff to say about it.
I was gonna say I love the blues. They tell my story. If you don't feel it, you can never understand.
That's
And
right.
the live version on what the fuck's it called? Live in the Heart of the City. It's fucking killer.
Which I'll be going to bed listening to tonight.
Oh, so that's top three live albums. Love my top like that. Lillian Axe 2000 live 2002 and Iron Maiden's live after death. Those three top three for me in live albums.
Yeah, man, you're not wrong. Well, for me too, I'm such a Queen guy. Like Queen Killers is unreal.
There you go. Yep.
And I just got this past Christmas from my daughter live in Montreal, which that's kind of the most epicness of Queen.
Yeah, I agree.
In Canada. So yeah, there's this because as we know now, and we've learned over the years that live albums sometimes aren't necessarily live.
Yeah, yeah.
I think unless David Coverdale again when he's on, we can ask him. I think Live in the Heart of the City is as close to live as you can get.
And I'll talk about it later, but it must have been an epic fucking show.
Yeah.
And they had what, maybe three albums by then? Three albums.
Mm-hmm.
Like three full-length albums. It's like, holy shit. They were put on a whole kick-ass rock show, just three fucking albums. Unreal. But yeah. That's just a great fucking song. Total great song.
Yep. All right.
Your number four.
My number four is off Come and Get It, and it's called Don't Break My Heart Again.
Get the fuck out. That's my number four.
All right, then let's talk
Let's
about our
talk
number
about,
4.
let's talk about it. Go ahead, you start. That's
No,
fucking crazy.
it's just another one that for me, what really spoke to me about that song is it's a complete cohesive band song. Everybody that everybody participates. The organ is there, the bass is there, the dual guitars are there. But the thing I really like about, again, 70s, but the Whitesnake stuff is they have the two guitar players, but they're not fighting for sound. And
No, they
sometimes,
work well together.
right, like,
No.
any band with two guitar players, there's alternating solos and whatever, but they just join each other. It just doesn't seem, and I don't know what the packaging was like back in the 70s, but I don't think you said Bernie Marsden lead guitar. I think it was just guitar.
It might have been guitars. You might be right on that.
Yeah, and that's the way it was understood in the band.
Yeah.
And it just works, and nothing, it works. And Don't Break My Heart Again, it's just another killer song.
I just like that it starts with, I mean, Neil Murray's playing a simple thumping bass, the root note there,
He does.
and it builds up, and then Dave just comes in and goes, I'm gonna push it to the limit of my love before I turn and walk away. And it's like, fuck yeah. I'm gonna take it to the limit of my love. I also like the pre-chorus I got here. Time and time again, I sing your song, but I've been running on empty for far too long. And then after that pre-chorus, it goes back into that dun dun dun. Don't break my heart. Oh, what a great tune! Such a good tune.
Man, I think it's safe to say this is all we're going to be listening to for the next several weeks.
I think so, because I was coming back from my parents over the weekend, and it was like I was trafficking like 2.5 hours in the car, and just put Whitesnake on shuffle, and if it was anything after 82, I skipped it. I'm just going old school with this, going old school with this. That's it. Fucking great ride.
And when I did mine, I was just picking songs and adding them into a playlist. And so when I messaged you and said, I got 19, and you said, start cutting. So I just started, whenever I was driving anywhere in the city, it's like, I don't fucking know what to cut. I got 19.
Sophie's choice of Whitesnake tunes. It's like give it one of your kids.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
You're 3.
Oh yeah, because I had 11 here because I was being a dick. Okay. Anyway,
but I'm not pulling that 10A, 10B bullshit. Sorry, Ryan. That don't happen here in the basement.
Fine. Okay. Another one off Trouble is Take Me With You.
Yeah,
Now,
did I say that?
Did you say Take Me With You?
Was it Take Me With You? Or was it? Yeah, I had that one. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good. Then I don't have to say it. I will just add with Take Me With You, the jungle drum in it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Good.
Oh, that guitar in the beginning, there, wecka, 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 wecka. That's great too.
It's almost Eddie Van Halen-ish there.
Yeah.
Right. They clearly stole that from Eddie. Let's be honest. I'm going back to Love Hunter, and this is their they kind of lifted they lifted a name from a Kiss song, and the song is called Mean Business. Right, and the lyric is, I got my love gun loaded.
Yeah. Did I have that
I've got my love gun loaded. I've got you in my sight. I never take no for an answer, so you better say yes tonight. As he's in his living room pouring his Cavassier. And
exactly. He's like, stop swishing. He's got the glass like this. Oh, but he's spilling because he's all high on coke. He's all jittery and shit. Yeah. The downers are fucking calming him down.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Oh crap. Yeah, it's a great one. That is a good one. It was one of the songs that came up on my road trip. I was like, oh fuck, this is fucking nice. Love that. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, my number 3 it's from Come and Get It, and Wine, Women, and Song.
Oh, that was on my when I cut today. Yeah, great tune.
This is, and I remember the liner notes of this album said, on every album they have one song that the entire band writes. And
Oh, is this the one?
this
Yeah.
is the one off that album. Yeah, they all got together, and it's fucking great. What's the beginning? Not an educated man, but only street fleet preachers know. With the piano and shit. It's the simple things in life. Get my motor humming, ready to go. If I can make you smile, I will raise my glass. But girl, if you don't like it, girl, you can kiss my ass. And he goes, yes, indeed. And then he goes, you can tell me I'm wrong, but I love wine, women, and song. And me and the fellas are going to tell you about it right now.
You can tell me it's wrong, but I love wine, women, and song. And me and the boys are gonna tell you about it right now. Now listen. Give me a good time, woman.
Oh, what a great tune.
And a piano
Such a
intro,
great song.
right?
Yes. Yep.
Before it gets, yep. Oh,
But there was I forgot what I was listening to on Apple Music, and when the album finishes, it starts playing random shit that's kind of similar to what you just had on.
mhm.
And I'm hearing this song, and I'm listening to it, and I go, "Is that Wine, Women, and Song by Whitesnake? What the fuck?" And a band called Humbucker on their album King of the World did a cover of this song.
You can tell me it's wrong, but I love wine, women, and song.
I'm like, who does that? Wow, I was impressed. It's a good cover, and I'm impressed that someone picked a song from that era to redo, which I was like, holy shit, that's unbelievable.
Shit, indeed.
It's a great album too. It is a good album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, fuck, these guys know their shit.
All right, well, City to City near clearly is going to need to cover one of these old songs.
Ryan doesn't like the version of the band.
Ryan needs to fuck off.
He needs some time alone in the woods with the first 5 Whitesnake albums and come back in a month.
That's right. Tell us what you think. Is it my turn?
You're number 2.
My number 2. I still have 3 left. I don't know. I get an honorable, I guess. Then I
Right? Did we
really
skip one? Did we?
Did we skip? I don't care. I got 3
No.
here. No,
I didn't skip any. No, Wine, Women, and Song was my 3.
so whatever. Okay. So then my number 2, because I'm convinced that we probably have the same number 1. So okay. So my number 2 will be off Ready and Willing maybe this was one of yours, is She's a Woman.
No, but that's a great tune.
She's a Woman, right?
Was it on my honorables? It might be on my honorables. Yep, that's one of my honorables.
Okay,
that's a great tune. That's a good
yeah,
tune.
and She's a Woman again. It opens not with piano this time. It opens with organ. It opens with organ, and and then it ends up just again when you start with the organ, then the rest of the band comes in, and then David just starts fucking screaming, and it's just such an epic. It just rips.
She's a woman.
And that's the thing with a lot of these songs. It's not just that the musicianship is good. The arrangement of these songs are fucking good.
Good. Yeah, we haven't touched on it. The arrangements are so good.
They've got this build up to them, or it's one instrument with a guitar riff or the piano playing, and the band jumps in and just kills it. It's the way these songs are put together is just fucking phenomenal.
Which
Really
again goes back to what we've said several times, that it's a band.
Yeah.
Working together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that when I was doing some, researching these songs and such, that there's just not a lot out there about early Whitesnake interviews and stuff, because they went massive with 87 and on. So that's all anybody ever wants to talk about, right? So which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I mean, yeah, I'm so glad you said the arrangements show that it is a band working together.
Yeah.
And
there are some interviews on YouTube with the band talking about this era, especially the end of it, after it happened. And they were even like, yeah, we used to be a band, and all of a sudden we didn't know when we were going to play again. We didn't know what was up. People started getting dropped, left, and they really were like, we used to work together on this as Whitesnake. Then all of a sudden became David Coverdale was the leader, and we didn't really have much say. All this kind of shit, which
Well, like
destroyed the
I
whole
said,
band outlook.
Neil Murray, I caught an interview with him where he just said it was just David's like just blinders to break in the United States.
Yeah.
We had plenty of money and we were plenty famous and everything, but he just got a break in the States, got a break in the States. So,
Well,
it would have been
because that's funny because after Slide It In, he was thinking of calling it quits with music. He was like, I'm done. I don't know if I have any more in me. And Geffen was like, now put one more together. You got Sykes guy, work together, come up with something. And during that whole time, I suppose he got a sinus infection.
got sick.
So he got sick with that, and then got to a point where Sykes, when he's in the studio, is very meticulous. And one of the reasons he was supposed to be in the Winery Dogs, but took too long. And Portnoy and Sheen were like, we can't just sit here and wait. We got to get the thing out. And even he was saying to Dave, like, dude, come in and do the vocals already. We're waiting on this thing, and nothing's happening. Which kind of started a rift between them, where he was like, I think you're using the infection as an excuse. Just not get this done. Let's get this done. And that might be one of the reasons why he booted him after the album was done. Like, hey, I ain't fucking dealing with this shit. But
it's so interesting if they could have worked together harmoniously or whatever. Like, I mean, they could have been, let's not say Lennon McCartney or anything, but they could have been a fucking like Tyler Perry, or they could have been a I don't know, Richie and John.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they could have, just think that the 87 thing, because that was them. And then just think of the thing now. I've never been a massive fan of Slip of the Tongue myself, but I mean, you wouldn't have had that record. Right?
Yeah. Because if you, first of all, I see when Slip of the Tongue came out, I was kind of disappointed. As time went on, I kind of warmed up to it, but I always thought Steve Vai was not the greatest fit for the band. Nothing against him, nothing against the music they made, but it just wasn't. Steve Vai wasn't Whitesnake material, image wise, and his play style. I thought was kind of it worked to a point, but not like Sykes did, not even close. But if you listen to Blue Murder's debut, Black-Hearted Woman sounds like something that could have been on the 87 album, or the next album be stayed with the band. All right, my number 2, I think it might be the first time we mentioned this album, at least on our lists, but from Saints and Sinners from 82, Rock and Roll Angels.
Oh, again, it's one of my, I had to cut it today, but yeah, great tune.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. It might be my favorite off the album.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts with the guitar, and then they both join in playing the same riff, and then the whole band just kicks in with it. Oh, just fucking great. I like the line. I can feel my heart beating, banging like a big bass drum. I know you blue jean queens know exactly where I'm coming from. I'm looking for some rock and roll angels. Fucking great. Just amazing. So great. Yeah. I always felt this was their last old school Whitesnake album, because by the next album they were replacing members, and then they made the American version with John Sykes in it. And this album, it was hard for me to find. Like, I remember back in the late 80s, I couldn't find this fucking thing anywhere. And I knew at the time, Crying in the Rain and Here I Go Again, the original versions were on this thing. I couldn't find it anywhere. And one day, just happened to see it in a music store on cassette. And I'm like, I gotta get this fucking thing. And
it is so funny you say that Saints and Sinners was the last album I found to complete my collection. I couldn't find that thing anywhere. And because I don't I know what everybody's thinking that's watching. Why don't you just go on Discogs and find it? Because that's too easy. As a record collector, I like looking in stacks. I like, finding stuff. Now, often there's stuff I have to go see. That's another video. But I really wanted to find it out there. And I ended up finding it at a record show in Austin, Texas. And I have the Mexican version where it's all in Spanish.
Yeah.
And everything, right? Now, they were nice to me. It's like, so it'll be the first song, it'll say in Spanish, and then underneath tiny it'll be English, so I know what fucking I'm listening to. But I'd still like to get a UK copy. That's kind of next, and I know I'll be able to find it somewhere out there.
You're number 1. What do you got for number 1?
Okay, can I do my honorable mention now?
We'll do it after. We can do it after.
Okay,
We'll do it
okay.
after. We'll do it
Because
after.
there's two that they're actually my two favorite songs. So I guess I got a little too, but I've
Pick
got
one.
it.
Sophie's choice. Sophie's choice.
Okay, I am hoping that your number one is this, but I listened to both of these right before we aired, and I'm picking this one simply because it is a band song. The musicianship is unbelievable with the opening guitar riff that then they do again with dual guitars, and it is Medicine Man off Love Hunter.
That was on my honorables. That is a good song.
Yeah.
That's a
It
goddamn
just
good
is
song.
it is another band song where you don't have competing guitars. They just work together beautifully. And then you got Cozy and Neil in the background, just fucking putting down that, oh,
Yep. I'm
so
your medicine man, your doctor of love. Fucking great.
Dr. Love.
It's just the way he sings it too. Fuck, that is a good one. That is I'm surprised you had that at number one.
It was, I'm gonna wait because I don't want to, in case it's your number one, because my true number one, but I just couldn't stop listening to Medicine Man today. It's just too good.
All
So,
right, I kind of cheated for my number one.
oh,
Yeah, I went for the live version of it
okay, it's okay.
from Live in the Heart of the City. The opening track, "Come On."
Oh,
That's the fucking way you start a show.
yep.
Holy
that one.
shit. It is so goddamn killer with the guitars. And you hear David cover that go, "Are you ready? Come on." And then they kick it in.
Yep.
And it's the original version of Snakebite. It's slow. It's a slower version.
Mhm.
This one, they speed up the tempo and it just kicks total fucking ass. Like that going into Sweet Talker and then Walking in the Shadow of the Blues, that's a show started correctly. It's just so goddamn killer and so epic.
So
and,
then sorry.
And Neil Murray's bass in that is fucking epic. I remember playing that in a band because my friend and I had the album, and my friend would always have barbecues, and you bring out a stack of cassettes and CDs to play out, and that was always there. We always played that fucking thing. My cassette copy it's all worn out and broken and busted up. I played it so many times. Like I said before, it's one of my favorite all-time live albums. And that as the opening track to start off the show is completely fucking epic. If I saw a band play a song, their first song was on that level of musicianship and energy, I'd be like, I'm in for a great show. It's just
So
an
then let's
amazing
say this to everybody then. If you're gonna dive into this catalog, start there. Start with the live album.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be such a really nice transition into the rest of the catalog.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So my other number one was and whatever, and I picked it because, well, first it fucking kicks ass. Soft Saint and Sinners, it's Youngblood.
Oh, that was on my honorables too.
Yeah,
that's the lead up track, isn't it?
Yeah, and because there's such a just fucking unbelievable killer guitar solo. And for me, Youngblood was one of those that stood out because it could have been redone with later Whitesnake and been
imagine if they did that. Holy shit.
well, right? Would have been unbelievable. So that was my other one. And then I do have
what are your honorables? Yeah, go through your honorables.
My official. So one that I really liked, I mean, you said Rock and Roll Angels, we did that. Victim of Love and Why Women Song, it's all there. One of my biggest one, I do love Man off Ready and Willing, just the groove, right? Neil Murray in there, but I don't know if did they close it? I don't know, but I just love Wish You Well.
Yes, and they used
off
to
Love Hunter. It's a minute and 20 seconds long. Just David, and I'll say this, like David can rock. He's got a beautiful voice, right? With power and stuff. And he really, you saw that in Deep Purple, clearly in early Whitesnake before he went all 80s and stuff. But
yeah,
I just love that. It's like the wish you well, like goodbye, good night, thank you for coming. We wish you well. It's just such a great minute and 20 seconds. It's just much like you and your guru and his girlfriend, whatever, minute and 20 seconds of your whatever.
Hey, whoa, what am I, a marathon man? Minute, Jesus. They also used to, after that album, the liner notes would close off with them saying, it would put, printed at the bottom, "We wish you well."
Wish you well.
And I remember when Main Attraction by White Lion came out, and they had what's the closing track on that?
Farewell to You.
Farewell to You. I remember thinking to myself, this is "We Wish You Well." This is the same exact thing. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. My Bloody Luxury.
Yep.
Lonely Days, Lonely Nights, and Come On and Get It.
Yep.
You said Sweet Talker. You said Young Blood. She's a Woman, I think you had.
Oh, I did.
Title track from Ready and Willing. I'm surprised you didn't have this, the song Love Hunter off of Love Hunter.
I didn't. I don't know. It didn't resonate.
Really?
I don't know.
And then what else I got here? Till the Day I Die, closing out Come and Get It. I think that's a great one. And the title track from Come and Get It. If you want it, come and get it, baby. I got something for you. Fucking great. I mean, you're right. Just trying to narrow this down to 10. This could have so hard. Yeah, easily been a top 30 list, if not more.
Easily.
Just great stuff.
Yeah. It just, and I'm so glad we got to do this. I mean, I think that, you and I have been a guest on Guru's show, quite a bit. And I remember it came up. You and I have probably been talking about this for a year. Easy.
Probably. Yeah.
You and I get so fucking mad on just when they nope. Whitesnake started in 84.
Oh God. It's just like, no, you're missing out. You need this in your life. If you don't like this stuff, go get a therapist.
Yeah, something wrong. Yeah, if you don't like it, you don't like good music.
People say, "Oh, I don't like the organs." What does that mean? I don't understand that.
Because it's not the organ; it's a whole cohesive band.
Yes, we've been saying it numerous times. Yeah, they work together as a cohesive band.
That's right.
And they just,
if you look at that, that's where a lot of bands start to get really shitty at the end of their careers when they turn into the David Coverdale project, the John Bon Jovi project. And I'm sure there's tons more out there that, it just, the music suffers. And we talked about it today. Sure, Slide It In's great, 87, Monumental, Slip the Tongue. Like I like Forevermore and all that stuff. But man, like there is just nothing like these 5 albums. Like they are just unbelievably good.
Yeah.
There's not a bad one.
And it's crazy. This never hit big in the late 70s, early 80s in the States.
Yeah. I don't get it.
So yeah, it's just
opening act on a couple of tours, and I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, big in Europe, big in Japan.
Yep.
We didn't want to know nothing about it here in the States.
Nope. Sure.
Right in Canada too. I don't think it's in Canada.
Same thing.
All right. Why don't you tell the folks again where they can find you at?
You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, under Read World. It'll be right here. Spell it right. It's also, the handle is Read All About It. Please check me out at Hair Metal Monday and Three-Way Thursdays. Whenever you see something, I don't care if you know it or not, listen to it, retweet it, follow it, because you're going to learn some good shit that's out there.
Nice. Yeah, definitely give them a follow.
And thank you for having me. It was fucking blast. I really enjoyed.
Thanks for being on. Yeah, thanks for being on. The word of this music has to get out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let me go through my shit real quick. You can find me on X, let me know, Twitter at HB Basement. Always talking music there. Download the Station Head app. You can hear the Hairband Basement Radio Show, deep hair metal tracks. And until the next time, keep your hair high and your metal horns even higher. We wish you well.
Brian, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know, really.